cut they fucking throat. Their story ends, mine just began.
What's up, Store Do Crew? It's yours truly, Store That Do. Right now, better get into that. Hold on now, this one important. Cause right now, it's fucking with me still. The rise of crash out music, that was another documentary. Shout out to Buddy that made it. He did. I felt like cause the shit so fresh, he did the best he can do at the time. Yeah. Anyway, Stay Safe World made this documentary. Shout out to them. Link to this video will be down in the description if you want to subscribe to them and go do that. ISO! The beef that made Baby Kia diss Anti the Menace. War in Atlanta. 952 versus FHM. Now, hold on. We got to open the video saying this. Let's take this shit with a grain of salt.
Shout and ruin my life beyond all recognition. There's no doubt in my mind that the soundtrack to your crimes would most likely be one of these artists. You know, someone like L5, someone like Lil Tim, someone like Anti the Menace, someone even like Baby Kia, man. These Atlanta drill artists are the epitome of crash dummy activity. I'm convinced that people that actually listen to this music in all seriousness might be the same type of people that brush their teeth with their fingers, bro. It seems like the younger generation of Atlanta artists aren't really rapping about stunning, you know, flexing money and stuff that the old head rappers were rapping about for
with their finger. I think
decades now. These dudes took it upon themselves to straight up make extremely loud, extremely violent, and extremely federal music about straight up murking people, bruh. This shit is like if Charles Manson hopped on an Atlanta beat, man. I swear, it's like straight up Osama bin Laden, straight in the booth. One of the most crazy rappers of this generation, a straight...
We mute some of that shit out, gang. You stretching it, nah. At first I'm like, all right, he made a little jokey joke. Straight Osama in the booth.
Crash out captain is Baby Kia. Many believe this dude might be either special ed on the spectrum or faking his persona to look overly crazy. Probably somewhere between all three of those things. All I can tell by this dude is he needs some type of serious mental therapy. Although a lot of the raps that he makes are likely fiction, the beef that this dude is actually within in this city of Atlanta is very real.
Violence affects everyone, no matter your race, geographical area, or socioeconomic status.
In Spiro, investigators released this surveillance video hoping
Atlanta station. That's what I was meant to ask my peoples. Atlanta station.
somebody will recognize the people responsible for the shooting.
With bodies dropping, people getting sentenced to football numbers, and people even tunneling through jail cells to stab people behind this, bro. The songs like OD Crashing, yes, this dude really titled a song to make a straight crash out anthem. I swear, Baby Kia went out of his way to diss another lunatic rapper on that song who's named Anti the Menace, who also made a wave in the city for straight screaming on the mic as well. Bruh, this is like the battle of the crash outs right now, and we gotta get into the beefs that made this genre of Atlanta rap famous.
I'm borrowing that for the title. That shit was hilarious. Like I said, I'm borrowing that for the title. Appreciate you. You know? Hell yeah.
The people who got murked behind it right now. But before we do, I'm gonna need you to do something for me, man. Like, comment, subscribe. We finna run this video, man. We about to go trim right now. Make sure you hit that link in the description for the merch, and make sure you hit that notification bell so whenever I post, you get tuned in right away, man. We're on the road to 100K subscribers, so I'm gonna need y'all, if y'all listening, don't be a reoccurring viewer that don't be tapping in, man. Let's get into this. Man, in order to have a chance at understanding the dumpster fire that is the music scene in Atlanta, you gotta understand the gangs involved throughout all this and why exactly they got beefs in the first place. This new subgenre of music within Atlanta is called Atlanta drill. It's basically like people screaming on the top of their lungs like New York drill, but with overly aggressive, overly trimmed, that if they listen too much, you might just start tweaking out. The biggest standouts in this genre are really like Anti the Menace, Baby Kia, and there's honorable mentions like L5.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, what this nigga said, one of them niggas said, he just said some shit about listening closely. Nigga, one of them niggas said Knife on the chop, time to get jiggy. They had found that boy alive, but all his body parts was missing. That's when I'm like, all right, these motherfuckers living different. Hold on. It's some more shit before that, but that one like solidified it for me. Hell
Who got a Playboy Cardi co-sign and other people like that. But for all intrusive purposes, we're gonna focus on Baby Kia and Anti the Menace with this video because they have been going back and forth for a minute. Honestly, the music is crazy, but I think the craziest thing about all this is the gang ties that has people just completely tweaking up their whole lives. Anti the Menace is from the west side of Atlanta, from a section that he calls Jurassic Park. It's basically a housing project area on the west side over near Ashby Street that he mentions on countless songs. Growing up in that area, he apparently got a close ties with a gang called 952, a subset of Sex Money Murder Bloods with some type of connection to Rollo's Famgoon group, along with ties to an infamous gang called YC, aka Young Crew. YC is like an offshoot of PFK, aka, you know, the Play for Keeps gang, infamous for being where Lil Marlo was from, aka 3L. It's crazy because a lot of these dudes be having connections to larger rappers, but these just be like the young ass dudes from these older dudes' neighborhood or something like that. On the other hand, we got the crash out captain himself, Baby Kia, named after being...
I don't know why y'all trying to put fancy. This the new generation. I think Anti not even 20, bro. Or if he is, just 20. Kia like 17. But yeah, these niggas in that fucking range. 16 through 20. 2000 babies. Nope. No, these niggas a little bit older. Like 06 babies. I mean younger. Well, they mean like 06, 07 baby. 08 baby. It's crazy. But yeah, it's these niggas.
Cool with Kia boys, aka dudes that go around and rob Kias, and apparently getting his name after noticing that every Kia that they robbed happened to have a baby car seat in it. Baby Kia made waves over the past couple months and basically dropped the biggest hit of his career so far. That was an Anti the Menace diss, where he literally said he was sliding on Ashby, which is the street where Anti the Menace is apparently from. But to understand why, you basically gotta see Baby Kia's whole affiliation from the jump. Baby Kia is from the Cleveland Ave neighborhood of Atlanta. He said he moved around a lot of his life, but that's where he recently lives now. That's the same neighborhood that Atlanta rapper Young Thug reps. He's from a subset of Bloods called FMH, which have close ties with Y5, which is basically the young dude version of YSL, you know. Members from there most notably were like Lil Key, or people who have close ties to YSL being from the Cleveland Ave neighborhood in the city. Although most of these beefs is over just internet stuff and just over songs, a major incident among these young rappers that went down where a major player throughout this area was gunned down, causing everything to go to shit. And we got to get into that right now because it might be one of the most recognizable incidents in the last couple years that caused this ongoing beef between these two sides. Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Okay, bud.
Although there could be a lot of different reasons why these groups of young rappers have beef, it seems like the biggest spilling point could be the infamous death of 5L member and Ola Runt's little brother Lil Cam. The little brother, yes, of incarcerated rapper Ola Runt. And Ola Runt is an infamous top shotter from the 5L gang that was locked up for a couple years now from getting caught up in a gang sweep called Operation Phoenix. But while he was locked up, his little brother Lil Cam was apparently menacing the people in his age group. A video even leaked of him pistol whipping a dude in 4K on a busy street corner near Atlantic Station, the same station where he unfortunately would lose his life, which we're about to get into later. You know, everything a young man should really aspire.
Dude look every bit of 12, but he probably was 14, 15. Pistol whipping. That's what he said, bro. Pistol whipping. Shit.
To be, Lil Cam was doing the opposite. While gangs like 5L and YSL's older members had some type of issues, it wasn't as serious as a bunch of other beefs that they had, and apparently wasn't serious enough to stop their younger members from clicking up. Apparently this is how members from FMH and Y5 somehow ended up being cool, and they had to click up and have an alliance because they were having a crazy beef with YC, who was known to be Crashouts, like Lil Perk. Baby Kia, being from FMH, had close ties with Lil Cam, who apparently was FMH, on top of having close ties to 5L from his brother. Like I said before, YC at the time was clicked up with 952, where Anti the Menace is from. But this unfortunately set the stage for one of the most infamous crash out incidents of recent memory, the shooting at Atlantic Station.
Second boy has died following a weekend shootout near Atlantic Station. Now police are asking for the public's help.
Tom Christine, this has been upgraded to a double homicide as we have a 12-year-old dead and now a 15-year-old dead as well. Police say that the suspected shooters could be seen celebrating as they made their escape on MARTA.
It's difficult to investigate a death of a child.
A second young life cut short following Saturday's shooting near Atlantic Station. 15-year-old Cameron Jackson died from his injuries after 6 people were shot near the 17th Street Bridge. His mother is still shaken by the news.
So, okay. I remember hearing about the train shit. But knowing it was the Cam, knowing that it was Cam that we just got done talking about, or he just got done talking about, I can't say if I remember that, but I do remember the whole train shit.
She told us over the phone her baby was homeschooled, wanted to be a professional boxer, and loved science. 12-year-old Zion Charles died from his injuries Saturday. Police say video shows Charles with the suspects moments before the shooting. He's believed to have been killed by someone in his own friend group.
On November 26, 2022, just a couple of days after Thanksgiving, police were called to the 17th Street area of downtown Atlanta, near Atlantic Station, where reports of gunfire and a large group of teens seen causing a disruption. Atlanta police were initially called around 8 p.m. to Market Street after receiving a report of multiple people shot. Police said an off-duty police officer and Atlantic Station security guards had escorted a group of minors for disorderly behavior. Police said that something caused the situation to escalate to gunfire. Apparently, members of YC, most notably the crazy crash out shooter Lil Perk, had just decided to mob onto Atlantic Station looking for Lil Cam in a large group, and had previously said threats online at Lil Cam. At the same time, apparently Lil Cam sent threats back, and then they all just linked up because Lil Cam was known to frequent the Atlantic Station area. At the same time, Lil Cam, aka Cameron Jackson, was seen on surveillance video riding a scooter throughout the area as he was known to do. Following the large group being kicked out of the station, a Fulton County Assistant District Attorney told the news and the court that Zion Charles and Cameron Jackson and another friend then left the scene on scooters. But they were crossing the 17th Street Bridge when someone shouted, "There goes Cam!" Gunfire erupted, with Lil Cam being gunned down on the spot, along with the 12-year-old Zion Charles, who got taken out too later. The thing is, Zion Charles was apparently with the large group and got killed in friendly fire, which we found out after the fact. Surveillance footage then shows a large group of YC teens running through Atlantic Station to split up and board the train. And one of the people you can clearly make out on video seemingly bragging about what happened was YC rapper Lil Perk, who was a drill rapper making waves in the city. Honestly, that beef doesn't even stop there, bruh. Like, you can't even make this up, because of following this incident, a 5L member apparently dug a tunnel through a wall at the Rice Street jail in Fulton County to confront a YC member that had something to do with the shooting and stabbed him multiple times after digging through his jail cell.
This shit deep. This shit, what the fuck? Dug a hole. No, never mind. Fuck you dig a hole with?
hole in the wall was huge enough for at least one inmate to climb through it into the zone or cell block next door to his and stab a fellow inmate there, says interim Fulton County Jail Commander Curtis Clark.
Arena that we are operating now, things of this nature, happen far too often.
Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, imagine how long it takes to dig through a concrete wall. They were digging through that for mad long. Bro saw the signs and what was going on and just didn't do anything. This just goes to show the stuff that these young dudes be rapping about is very real and very active. Although they weren't technically involved in these incidents, the people who were very close with them were involved in this incident, and it affected both their music and their relationships for the time being. Which leads us to the aftermath. Pretty much since then, Anti the Menace and Baby Kia have pretty much been at odds for a minute. I saw Anti the Menace basically dropping snippets, you know, dissing Baby Kia. Then Baby Kia drops the biggest song arguably of his career that goes viral called OD Crashing, and everyone's kind of wondering how exactly that happened, and it definitely was this network of close ties. Although since then, YC and 952 apparently have split and aren't really cool, and at the same time, it's been reported that Lil Perk has essentially gotten, you know, almost 20 years for his involvement in this case, and is one of those people that are basically going to be facing a large portion of their life in jail now, along with all the other people like the dude that stabbed the YC member and even Ola Runt, who didn't really have anything to do with it. But it just shows that the gang ties are really what's going wrong with this community, and it's kind of crazy. Like, yeah, his mom went on the news and said Lil Cam.
But hold on, bro. Cause. Okay, you talked about other true events. But I just feel like you ain't expound on what was said between both guys, Baby Kia and Anti. And after you explain the Lil Perk, Zion, and Lil Cam situation, I feel like you should have kind of moved it there to kind of see the whole picture of this shit, you know? Because off my memory alone, I can remember somebody saying something, somebody else saying something on songs that they released publicly. Man, you gonna cover the story, and like it's in the song. You know, we already think you lying off the dribble. Remember I said take this shit with a grain of salt? Oh my nigga, let's take this shit with a grain of salt. The odds are against
Cam was
you.
a good person, but he was running him out too, pistol whipping people in 4K and everything, which just shows that these young dudes had a disregard utterly for their lives. You know, they just were looking out and going doing crash out activity, and let's just hope that, you know, Baby Kia was just joking when he said he was sliding down Cleveland Ave or walking around Ashby Street with a strap and stuff like that. Even though I wouldn't be surprised if it's the truth. But I feel like at the end of the day, these dudes don't really care about what really happens. I feel like they don't really care about their lives at the point that they really think twice about what they do. And they probably are already doing this stuff in general. Even if there was no social media, they were probably crashing out and doing gang activity and all this other stuff. Even if they didn't have social media, we're just able to see it. But the thing about it is, it's like, I can't really blame them, because if you're gonna do it anyways, you might as well get paid off of it, you know? At the end of the day, you might as well monetize this, and dude has been making huge numbers. That video has like 1 million views already, and it's only been like 12 days, which just goes to show that obviously people are tuning into it, whether it be for better or for worse. This is definitely one of those scenarios where you can't really even tell if people are tuning into this because of the fact that they...
Like, you ain't even played a little clip of, you said something about Kia in Ashton Street. You ain't play that little clip or pull up the Genius lyric of that shit. Like, come on, bro.
Like the music, or because of the fact that they want to know about the story, or that his voice is just so viral that it's going crazy. And honestly, it doesn't even matter. I've listened to some of his songs and he does scream a lot, but he does have songs where he doesn't really scream a lot, and he does have songs that are actually pretty good. Honestly, all of them have good songs. You know, in order to be big and good in Atlanta in the first place, you have to have good music. Like, you're not just going to be just trash and expect to be having some type of fan base, and their beats are hard. So I think that they actually have potential. If these dudes are just using this for shock value to get views and go viral, and then they actually switch up and make good music, I feel like that's the only way out of this situation, because the gang beef and crashing out is definitely not going to get you anywhere besides in jail or in a jail cell or in, you know, dead at the end of the day, you know. And it's just kind of crazy too, because you look at the older versions of all these people that are basically connected to these gangs. You got Young Thug, who's locked up. You got Ola Runt, who's in jail.
So I'm gonna cut him off right about here. But the lead the video off just about as much confused as I came in this motherfucker. Oh shit. But I'll say this, bro. He did touch on the right topics when he said something about hoping that this just for shock value and this don't go far further than the music. That is the right thing to say, but that's like the perfect scenario. Who knows where this shit might go? But that's just like the perfect outcome where it just be music. They from the same city and whatnot. This ain't like a beef of I'm from Texas and I don't like this rapper from New York that be in New York, that's based in New York. You know, it ain't one of them type deals, man. These niggas both in the same city. Shit. It like I said, perfect scenario. I'm just leave it right there. But one more thing I feel like y'all boys told me about the names that these niggas be dropping in the songs. Like the Mari. Y'all told me about that. I thought he was on to explain on it, but he didn't. But apparently it was a diss to somebody's homie. Same with, was it Hot? Yeah, there's another diss to somebody's homie. You feel me? That's what y'all told me, but I can't seem to find the shit. So it is what it is. We're just gonna take it for what it is.